If she does this, she wants you sexually. Warning, rated R. Leave your like on the video, my love, and if you are new to the channel, subscribe to receive new advice. Do this to help the channel continue to grow. Hey there, it's Pamela Raquel. Ever find yourself wondering if that hot girl you've been chatting up is actually into you? Like really into you, you know, giving you those secret signals that she wants to take things to the next level? Well, buckle up, my friends, because today we're diving into the tantalizing world of female flirting to uncover those telltale signs that she's craving more than just witty banter. But before we jump in, a quick disclaimer: every woman is unique, with her own style of flirting and seduction. These signs we're about to explore are just general indicators, not foolproof guarantees. It's always crucial to read the vibe, respect boundaries, and make sure you're both on the same page before making any bold moves. Alright, the last thing we want is any awkward misunderstandings or unwanted advances. This is about enhancing your flirting radar, not giving you a free pass to be a creep. So as we navigate these enticing waters together, keep it classy, keep it consensual, and most of all, have fun with it. If you're ready to crack the code and find out if she's been dreaming about ripping your clothes off, stick with me. It's time to dive into the biggest signs she wants you sexually. Before we get rolling, for those of you looking to rethink your dating approach, why not take advantage of a free strategy call with one of our expert coaches? Find the link in the description or pinned comment. 1. Touching herself. First up, let's talk about one of the most alluring and understated signs of sexual interest: when she can't seem to keep her hands off herself. Picture this: you're deep in conversation, hanging on her every word, when you notice her fingers gently grazing her lips, twirling a lock of hair, or trailing along her collarbone. These self-touches may seem innocent enough, but they're often a subconscious signal that her mind is drifting to more sensual places. When a woman is aroused or thinking about getting physical, she might start channeling that energy into these little self-caresses. It's like her body is aching to be touched, so she's giving herself a sneak preview of what she's hoping you'll do later. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not suggesting you go lunging for her at the first hair flip, but if you start noticing a pattern of these tantalizing touches, especially when combined with other signs we'll be discussing, it's a pretty strong indicator that she's picturing more than just a friendly hug at the end of the night. So keep those eyes peeled for those subtle strokes and sensual self-touches. They just might be her way of saying, "I wish these were your hands instead." 2. Sexual innuendos. Alright, guys, let's dive into the world of double entendres and risque repartee. If your flirty banter has started veering into, "Is it getting hot in here?" territory, you might be on the receiving end of some seriously seductive sexual innuendos. Picture this: you're swapping jokes and one-liners when suddenly she drops a comment that's just dripping with naughty subtext. Maybe she's always been a sucker for a man who knows his way around a tool belt, or she's in the mood for something sweet and sticky for dessert. Whatever the line, the underlying message is clear: her mind is in the gutter, and she wants you to join her there. Now, a playful double meaning here and there could just be part of her flirting style, but if those innuendos start piling up faster than the laundry on your bedroom floor, it's a pretty clear sign that she's not just interested in witty wordplay. She's imagining all sorts of steamy scenarios starring you and her, and she's hoping you'll read between the lines and make them a reality. Of course, not everyone is a master of the subtle sexual pun. Some women might take a more direct approach, peppering the conversation with references to her favorite porn scenes or most mind-blowing sexual experiences. If she's openly bringing up bedroom activities, you can bet your last condom that she's picturing you as her next co-star. So if your conversation starts sounding like the script from a late-night Cinemax flick, take it as a bright, throbbing green light that she wants to get physical. 3. Finding excuses to bend or lean over. Now, let's talk about body language that's not so much saying, "Come hither," as it is screaming, "Check out my assets." If you find your crush constantly finding reasons to put her curves on display, she might be trying to give you a tantalizing preview of what's on the menu. Picture this: you're hanging out, maybe playing a friendly game of pool, when she just keeps happening to drop things and bending over to pick them up. Or perhaps she's reaching for something on a high shelf, arching her back and stretching in ways that make her clothes cling to all the right places. Coincidence? I think not, my friend. When a woman is into you, she wants you to appreciate the goods, if you catch my drift. She might start casually posing, angling her body in ways that accentuate her best features and leave little to the imagination. It's like she's saying, "I caught you staring at my ass the other day, and I just wanted to give you a better view." She's hoping you'll drink in those curves and start imagining all the ways you'd like to get your hands on them. Now, obviously, no matter how much she's peacocking, an invitation to ogle isn't an invitation to grope. But if you keep catching her in these provocative poses, it's a strong sign that she's hoping you like what you see and that you'll want to see a whole lot more. 4. Sharing sexual experiences. Buckle up, boys, because this next sign is not for the faint of heart. If your gal pal has started dishing about her bedroom adventures like she's penning the next 50 Shades novel, there's a good chance she's hoping to add you as a co-author. Picture this. You're swapping dating horror stories and commiserating about dry spells when suddenly she starts talking about the best oral she ever received or the magic of multiple orgasms. She's not just sharing, she's selling, painting a vivid picture of her sexual prowess and appetites. When a woman starts getting graphic about her sexual experiences, it's often a way of gauging your reaction and planting some seriously suggestive seeds. She's hoping you'll be intrigued, maybe even a little jealous, picturing yourself in the starring role of her next erotic escapade. Now, some women are just naturally open about sex and love swapping raunchy stories with friends. But if her tales are getting increasingly personal, intimate, and targeted towards your tastes, she's likely trying to rev your engine and shift your thoughts towards the horizontal tango. She might even start peppering you with questions about your own bedroom predilections, fishing for info on what makes you tick and twitch between the sheets. If she seems suspiciously interested in your oral technique or favorite positions, chances are she's mentally auditioning you for a very hands-on demonstration. So if your conversations have started sounding more like steamy erotica than friendly chit-chat, consider it a flashing neon sign that she's ready and willing to take you for a test drive. Now, if you're enjoying today's video, be sure to let me know by hitting the like button or dropping a comment. And don't forget, if you'd like some personalized dating advice, our coaches are ready with a free 1-hour strategy call. Just click the link below. 5. Inviting you to her place. Alright, fellas, let's talk about one of the most classic and unambiguous signs that she's ready to get up close and very personal. If your lady friend keeps finding flimsy pretexts to lure you back to her nest, she's probably not interested in showing you her stamp collection, if you catch my drift. Picture this. You're winding down after a cozy date or a long night of flirting when she starts dropping hints bigger than your grandpa's underwear. Maybe she's forgotten about that bottle of wine she's been saving and needs your expert opinion, or her plumbing is acting up and she could really use a big, strong man to take a look. When a woman starts manufacturing reasons to get you alone on her home turf, it's a pretty safe bet that she's open to doing more than discussing the finer points of Merlot or playing Mario Kart. She's maneuvered you into her space where she feels comfortable and in control, and she's probably hoping that one thing will lead to a delightfully naked other. Now, an invite back to her place isn't an automatic guarantee of sex. She might genuinely want to prolong the evening or show off her new throw pillows. But if the vibe has been flirty all night and she's shooting you smoldering looks over that glass of forgotten Pinot, it's a pretty strong indication that she's ready and willing to take the party to the bedroom. So if you find yourself being beckoned to her boudoir with increasingly flimsy excuses, it might be time to grab a condom, some mouthwash, and your A-game. Just remember, even if you're rounding third base, consent is key. Make sure you're both enthusiastically on board before sliding into home. 6. Direct statements of attraction. Sometimes, gents, the signs that she wants to jump your bones are about as subtle as a brick to the face. If your crush has stopped beating around the proverbial bush and started openly declaring her burning desire for you, congratulations, you've hit the flirting jackpot. Picture this. You're chatting away, maybe doing that, no, you hang up first thing, when out of nowhere, she drops a bomb like, I can't stop thinking about tearing off your clothes with my teeth, or I get so distracted imagining you naked during spin class. Well, damn, how's that for a clear signal? When a woman starts putting her cards on the table with bold-faced statements of lust and longing, there's really not much room for interpretation. She skipped right past the coy hints and suggestive touches and gone straight to the source, her raging lady boner for you. Now, this kind of brazen honesty takes serious ovaries. So if you're lucky enough to be on the receiving end of such a sexual declaration, don't leave the lady hanging. Let her know the feeling is mutual, that you've been fantasizing about her too, and that you're ready to make those steamy imaginings a reality. And even if you're not quite prepared to dive into the deep end of the sexual pool, at least have the courtesy to acknowledge her courage in putting herself out there. Tell her you're flattered, intrigued, and definitely down to keep exploring this electric connection, even if you need to take things slow. Remember, gents, a woman who can confidently own her desire is a rare and beautiful thing. When she aims that desire directly at you, it's a gift. Receive it with gratitude, respect, and if you're both on board, a healthy dose of reciprocal passion. So now that you know how to tell she's sexually wanting you, what's next? Discover the biggest sign she's emotionally invested or learn what to do when she looks at you. If you've made it this far, my love, comment below with the word 100% or anything else to let me know, to confirm that you've received the knowledge from the video so far. For more interesting topics, subscribe to the channel. Let's continue. 11 ways to get her attention without saying a word, must watch. Hey, are you struggling to pluck up the courage to go over and talk to a woman? But did you actually know that you can get her attention from across that room before you've even spoken to her? Yep, that's right, you certainly can. Now, there are a number of little things that you can do to get her attention before you've even said hello to her. Now, I know it probably sounds a little bit crazy, but hear me out. It's true that by making just teeny tiny small changes, such as stressing your posture, catching her eye, and smiling at her from across the room, you can start to get her attention without even having to say a word. But before you dismiss this as too difficult, we've actually broken it down into teeny tiny chunks of advice for you. So let's dive into it, shall we? And also, make my day by liking and subscribing to the channel. Let's go. Posture. You will always capture the eye of a woman if you walk into a room as if you belong there. Now, our posture and body language are what we use to communicate on a nonverbal level. It's important to keep in mind that you should always carry yourself with confidence, but not in an arrogant manner. If you walk around with your shoulders back and your head held high, you will exude a certain type of confidence that will get her attention. She will want to know who you are and if you are important. For instance, if you are at a networking event and walk into the room as if you own it, she will presume that you are incredibly important. Maybe you are one of the organizers, or because of your posture, she will be able to tell a lot from your demeanor, from the way that you carry yourself, and from the attitude that you convey. The tip is to look more attractive and approachable to aid in the following tips, because think of it this way, would you notice a woman who has sat on a train slumped over on her phone, her eyes deep into whatever she's scrolling through? No, not at all. So subconsciously, a woman is looking stressed, not confident, and unapproachable, and you need to be the complete opposite. Smell nice. Have you ever smelled something so tantalizingly good that you were certain it would be the best thing you've ever tasted before you even got a chance to taste it? Well, that's because our sense of smell helps us decide whether or not we'll like something's flavor. 1% of men are aware of this and take advantage of it, which means they take care of their personal hygiene so they never smell unclean or bad. They will also spend money on a scented cologne that will make women fall at their feet just from smelling it. Now, you can attract a woman's attention with a good cologne before she even sees you because she can smell you. Confidence. Confidence is a topic that is frequently discussed in online dating advice, but for some people, it can be much more difficult than simply acting confident. How can you act assured without running the risk of coming off as arrogant? So in order for you to better apply the advice to your daily life and gradually learn to feel more confident in yourself, well, I've broken it down a little more for you. One important thing to remember is that although confidence can come across as arrogance if taken too far, there's nothing wrong with being proud of yourself and the things that you've accomplished. You will definitely get her attention if you are confident in who you are. Dress nice. If you look good, any woman will find you immediately attractive. Every woman swoons at the sight of a man in a suit, and we all know that younger women adore an older man who exudes dominance and power while dressed in a suit. Despite the fact that you may not always be able to wear a suit, of course, there are still some essential pieces you can add to your wardrobe, such as a nice pair of shoes, because they reveal a lot about the wearer. You don't take care of yourself if you have holes in them, okay? Or maybe you have some fancy loafers, trainers. Well, you must be a sports fan. Bootcut jeans should be thrown away, please. It's okay if you're not a man who favors skinny jeans because as you get older, comfort takes precedence over fashion, we get that. However, jeans are not designed to engulf your ankles and shoes as you walk. Wearing a nice watch gives you the appearance of being powerful and well-groomed and also gives those girls a reason to inspect your wrist and hands. Anything you do or wear to draw attention to those forearms and hands is always a great idea. Grooming. One way to get a woman's attention without having to use your words is to take care of your appearance. That means that if you have facial hair, you should keep it well groomed and maintained. Style your hair. Now you can always find a signature hairstyle that is easy to remember and that will remind people of you just the way you are. You know, John Travolta has the quiff. And I know a lot of you will cringe at this, but you can also get your eyebrows shaped as well. No, it's not feminine to want to take care of yourself at all. It is definitely an important part of your self-care. So don't let anyone make you feel ashamed for wanting to look and feel your best. Work hard. Work on yourself from all angles if you want to get a woman's attention. Everything from bettering your physical and mental health to changing your outlook and even your career if possible. Your partner should constantly encourage you to strive to be your best self, and you should do the same for yourself too. In the end, if you work on yourself and learn to love who you are, things outside of your control will just simply roll off your back like water. With hard work and dedication, you can become a more attractive person inside and out. Smile. Even when a complete stranger smiles at us from across the street, we automatically smile back, right? Because smiling is such an effortless yet contagious gesture. Men who are never without a woman in their company are aware of how much of a difference a smile can make to your demeanor and your manner. Smiling brightens your face and draws attention to your other features. She might like some things about you, but when you smile at a woman, you are subtly telling her that you are approachable and interested in talking to her. Now, if she responds with a smile, she is essentially telling you to move forwards. Smiling is also a magnet for the people around you. You are sure right to get her attention if you walk around with a smile on your face. Manners. If you use your manners when you are around her, then you are for sure going to get her attention. And it's easy. When people are spoken to with manners and respect, their body posture and facial expressions are very happy and very friendly. So even if you're not talking to her, she will notice the people around you if you are happy when they are in your company. And this will spark her interest in you. Now she will become curious, and this curiosity will be driven by a desire to understand why people are so happy in your presence and what it is about you that brings out the best in them. That curiosity will make her want to spend more time around you and be exposed to the positive energy that you exude. Eye contact. So important. Nothing is more perplexing than being out with your girlfriends and spotting a guy across the bar, while trying to determine whether he has also noticed you or if he is interested in another girl. Now she needs to know that you see her, guys. So look at her from across the room while chatting with your friends and enjoying your drinks. You cast just a few passing glances her way, and if she returns the favor, you are free to approach her and introduce yourself. But in order to make sure she knows that you're interested, you can give her a look and a smile. Making eye contact with a woman is one way to definitely get her attention. It's hard to ignore someone who has met your gaze, right? Isn't it? So making eye contact with a woman is an essential part of developing a connection, and it can be used to let her know that you are interested in her. Your chance of attracting a woman without speaking to her increases when you are surrounded by people who accept you. You don't trust me? Well, let's use a 2015 Whitman College study as an example. Now, in this survey, it revealed that regardless of appearance, potential partners with peer reviews were strongly preferred over those with no reviews at all. So if you arrive with friends, especially female friends, you pick the interest of singles in that area. This indicates that it is time to go out for drinks with the guys. Women notice when you have friends who you enjoy being around and who don't think you're weird. This shows that companionship can be an attractive factor to singles in the dating pool, and having a positive social network is important to make a good impression on potential partners. Show respect. Being friendly and pleasant is one thing, but it's quite another if other people find it easy to take you for granted. People will respect you more if you treat them with the dignity they deserve. When you have a sense of propriety, people will respect and admire you because they will see those qualities in you, and this is noticed by women. Women have historically been the victims of objectification, and by having a strong sense of propriety and showing that you won't be taken for granted, women will have greater respect for you. If people around you respect you and you respect them, it will get women's attention for sure, as they will notice the atmosphere and become curious. Having a strong sense of propriety and self-respect will go a long way in gaining the respect of those around you, and it is especially important when dealing with women. Actually, as difficult as you probably believed it was right now, remember this: we were all once cave people many years ago. So instead of talking, we communicated with our bodies. So when trying to get a woman's attention without using words, it can be harder than usual, but it's not as hard as you may think. Women will engage in certain small behaviors and gestures like a smile and open body language depending on how other people are around them, like a magnet, it's pulling them towards you. Therefore, when you are next out and about and you see a cutie that you want to introduce yourself to, start by grinning. Then watch for these clues to see if she reciprocates by grinning and exhibiting open body language. And if she does, you will know that you are in and can move without worrying about being turned down, a win-win situation. If you've made it this far, my love, comment below with the word 100% or anything else to let me know, to confirm that you've received the knowledge from the video so far. For more interesting topics, subscribe to the channel. Let's continue. The charisma method: how to become irresistible to women, psychology. Have you ever stopped to consider what a woman would find attractive about you? Because you are unsure of your strengths, not just the idea of speed dating, make you nervous, fear not, for we know what to do. We have scoured the entire planet, traveled far and wide, and pulled our minds to identify a list of characteristics that a girl will always consider when making a partner decision. Now, men might be quite surprised when they approach a woman who shows no interest at all, because they may have the misconception that a nice shirt and a good haircut are the keys to all women's hearts. The kind of guy who imagines himself to be every woman's shining knight in armor and waits for the girls to fall at his feet is sometimes referred to, well, we're going to say the name Kyle. Even though Kyle might be the perfect man for some women, that's okay. The vast majority of them just wouldn't really give him a second thought. So let's dive in, shall we? Like and subscribe. What is charisma? By definition, charisma is an ongoing vivacious and likable personality that seems to naturally attract others to them and is referred to as charismatic, the adjective form of the noun charisma, which describes a person's alluring, magnetic personality traits. Charismatic people often possess strong communication skills, a passion for their interests and hobbies, and have the ability to charm others. Chivalry: women prefer a real gentleman. Chivalry is still alive and well. Go ahead, open doors and pull out chairs. It's not beneath you. In these perplexing times of equal rights and everything else that's going on, a true lady still wants to be treated like a princess. Now, you might not be deserving of her company if you believe that. Ask the woman that you are dining with what she would like to eat before placing your order, otherwise, she'll assume that you weren't paying attention. Speaking of listening, give her your full attention when she speaks and look her in the eyes. Consider whether your mother would approve of your actions. Surely she would want a charismatic son, right? Being respectful, attentive, and kind will not only make you a better dinner companion, but it may also help you make a good impression on the woman. Make her laugh. If you ask any woman what they want in a man, one of the first things that they will likely say is someone who can make me laugh until my ribs hurt. So, whether you are celebrating your first date or your 5th wedding anniversary, you should never undervalue the importance of laughter in your relationship. Laughter can often be the key ingredient to a successful relationship, as it brings two people closer together and helps them understand each other better. And it creates positive energy. So what are you waiting for? When you make a woman laugh and can laugh along with her, not only do you show her how charismatic you can be, but it also helps the conversation flow better without any awkward silences. And we now know that women actually find funny men to be more attractive. So, if I'm telling jokes to understanding each other's humor, there are countless ways to make your loved one chuckle. So ask her to tell you about herself and what she's accomplished, and then tell her how special you think she is. Do not tell her everything about you, what you've done, what you have, and how special you think you are. People enjoy talking about themselves. So instead of being a bag of hot air, ask her about herself. After asking a question, keep quiet and just pay attention. Showing a genuine interest in what someone else has to say is a surefire way to build a connection and make the other person feel special. Nothing shows your lack of charisma like constantly talking about yourself. I mean, how will she get a word in edgewise? Share a dance. A confident, charming, and graceful guy is more likely to sweep a woman off her feet than any other type of guy. Yes, I said graceful. However, be sure to be ready, because no woman enjoys having her feet trampled on. Many women have said, I would never date a guy who doesn't dance. So learn some slick dance moves that will dazzle any lady by enrolling in some solo dance lessons. And I'm sure you will find it impressive when you see someone dancing beautifully and you think, wow, I could do that with her. Well, you could do it. So what's holding you back? Why not take the plunge and make your dreams of becoming a great dancer come true? Learning to dance is one of the most rewarding experiences you can actually have. Be a leader. Women want to be in the presence of a leader but not of a dictator. Women want to be able to trust the man they spend the rest of their lives with. Always keep her feelings in mind when making decisions. While your feelings are also important, remember hers are too. Maintaining the focus on her needs will demonstrate your willingness to make sacrifices for her. Start and participate in activities that will advance your relationship. Demonstrating a desire for your partner's happiness will strengthen your bond and her attraction to you. So finish what you start, pay attention to the details, and act dependably. This will show that you are reliable and trustworthy, qualities that women value in relationships. Show compassion. We don't mean what you're thinking. Before you roll your eyes and say, "Oh, women love a sloppy guy, I'm no crybaby." Blah, 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 blah. Feelings are normal. Feelings are completely acceptable. Okay? And also, that means expressing them. That is fine too. It's not a good idea to have a stone heart. This, I'm going to be honest, okay? It's actually a huge turnoff to women. To be able to open up and be honest with your partner about your feelings makes you feel safe. And additionally, it's a great quality to have the ability to be sensitive to situations that you might not necessarily think are important. Is your partner grieving over the passing of her favorite fictional character? Now, yeah, you may think this is ridiculous, but a small hug can be very comforting. Showing your partner compassion and understanding regardless of the size of the situation is a key factor in building trust and developing a healthy relationship. Smile. Have you ever smiled as you passed someone and they immediately smiled back? This is due to the contagious nature of smiles, which is also true of yawns. Yeah, don't yawn. I'm watching you. And I'm aware that there are situations in which you might not feel comfortable with your smile. Perhaps you lack the Hollywood smile, the brilliant white smile. Makes no difference. A smile is a smile, and a woman loves to see warmth, especially in her partner. So no matter what color, shape, or size your smile is, it will still brighten the day of those who you pass. Therefore, a smile is a powerful tool of communication, and when someone puts forth an effort to make the world around them much brighter, it can do wonders for improving their own mood. Be passionate. This one is for multiple relationship-related areas. Obviously, we enjoy watching couples interact passionately in bed because it is a physical act that can deepen their bond. This is assumed. Being the person who immediately turns over and falls asleep is not acceptable. Hugs are necessary. Women also enjoy it when their partners are enthusiastic about their skills and interests. Football, cars, modern technology, written works, or even something they don't understand. It can be alluring and seductive to have a passion for and pride in your hobby. It demonstrates to others that you can have fun, get dirty, and are not someone who just lives to work. This can be a great show of support for the woman in one's life, encouraging them to keep pursuing their hobbies and interests. Listen. Although it may seem obvious to say that listening is a good quality to have, as humans, we do it frequently without even realizing it, right? But active listening, however, is distinct. Long-term angst can be avoided by showing interest in a conversation and paying attention to what your partner is saying. For instance, if a girl mentions her favorite flower in the course of a conversation and you decide to buy those flowers later, you will score major brownie points for listening to her and just remembering that small nugget of information. To a woman, I can assure you that what seems very unimportant and mild to you will melt her heart. So please don't make women repeat themselves 3 or 4 times before you pick up those socks or put away the tools. I've been out for a week. Women are not parrots. Loosen up. Even though finding the good in a situation can be challenging and life can sometimes be extremely difficult, it doesn't help if you always have a stick up your butt and find it difficult to relax when it's necessary. It is not worth it to get angry and cause a scene if a waiter accidentally spills a small amount of water on you while serving you while you guys are out on a date. Just learn to laugh at yourself and not take life too seriously. Learning to accept the situation for what it is and finding the humor in it can make a difficult situation bearable. Accidents, they do happen, and instead, it is much better to remain calm and have some empathy for the waiter. After all, it was just an accident, right? So guys, you can use these tricks to seduce a woman and make yourself unstoppable to her. Even if you can't pick up on a charismatic person's full vibe, making use of these suggestions will help you project the right attitude. From paying compliments to using body language and verbal cues, it is important to project a confident attitude when trying to seduce a woman.